Hello friends, in this video we will discuss about sources of reconstructing history. There are two types of the sources. First one is literary sources and the second one is non-literary sources. Literary sources are further divided into two types. First one is religious literature and the second one is secular literature. First, we will discuss about religious literature. It throws invaluable light on the social and economic conditions of the ancient Indian period, such as the four Vedas, namely the Rig Veda, which mainly consists of prayers, and the Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharva Veda, contains prayers, rituals, magic, and mythological stories. Next is Upanishads. It also referred to as Vedanta and containing philosophical discussions on Atma and Paramatma. Other religious literature such as sutras like Shautra Sutras and Griya Sutras contains ritual literature on moral values. Epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata also tells us about the social and economic conditions of the ancient Indian period. Buddhist religious texts written in Pali and commonly known as Triptikas like Sutta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka. Next one is the Jainas religious text written in Prakrit, commonly called as Angas, contains philosophical and concepts of Jainas. Next, we will discuss about secular literature, such as Dharmashastras or law books, which prescribe the duties for different social groups such as Manusmriti. Kautilya's Arthashastra, which provides great information about Mauryan period, polity and economy. Secular literature sources such as Ashtadhyayi, which is an important work on grammar written by Panini. Compositions of Kalidas such as Abhijanan Shakuntalam, Ritu Samhar and Meghadutam, which provides us valuable information about the social and cultural life of the Guptas. Secular literature such as Rashtarangini, written by Kalhan, tells about the social life of Kashmir. Charitas or biographies written by court poets in praise of their rulers such as Harshacharita, written by Banabhatta in praise of King Harshavardhan. Secular literature such as Sangam literature is the earliest South Indian literature produced by poets who joined together in assemblage, which provides valuable insights about the period from 300 BC to 300 C. This Tamil literature contains literary gems of Shilpadikaram and Manimekali, would shedding light on South Indian society, economy, and polity of those times. Non-literary sources such as inscriptions or prashastis, writings engraved on hard surface such as stone and metal like copper, which usually record some achievements or ideas, help us in understanding different religious and administrative policies of ancient times. For instance, inscriptions detailing state policy issued by Ashoka and inscriptions recording the land grants by the Satavahanas. Non-literary sources such as coins provide useful information on the economic history of different dynasties, script, art, and religion of the time, as well as the progress made in terms of metallurgy, science, and technology. The earliest coins found in India were punch mark coins and contained only certain symbols and were made up of silver and copper. Indo-Greeks introduced gold coins and issued the coins which bore the names and images of rulers. On the basis of excavated remains, archaeology enables us to form an idea of the material life of the ancient people. Sites belonging to the Harappan period tells us about the life of people living in that era. In South India, the graves known as megaliths throw light on the life of people living in the Deccan and South India before 300 BCE. Geological and biological studies, such as the faunal and floral sources, to complement the archaeological studies in understanding the ancient way of life. For instance, through an examination of plant residues and especially through pollen analysis, inference can be drawn about the farming practice by Stone Age people. Similarly, mitochondrial DNA provides information on prehistoric migration. India was visited by many travelers and have left behind a rich account of our historical past. Greek ambassador Megasthenes wrote Indica and provided valuable information about the Mauryan society and administration. Buddhist traveler Fahim, who came to India in the 500 CE and have left a vivid account of the age of Guptas. Another noted Buddhist pilgrim, Suan Sang, visited India in the 700 CE and gave details of India under the reign of King Harshvardhan and glory of Nalanda University. The Periplus of the Erythraean Sea and Ptolemy's geography, both written in Greek, provide valuable data regarding Indian ports and commodities of trade between India and the Roman Empire. I hope you like this video, so please like, share and subscribe our channel. Bye bye.